Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Physique Cafe. We bring you the best advice from the highly qualified doctors and fitness professionals. Just around the lockdown period, tons and tons of information on the internet about various fitness topics. We thought we'll bring you authentic information. And we picked a sport which needs a lot of strength and endurance. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the marathon running. We are talking to an expert today. Let's welcome Navneet to Physique Cafe. Hello, Navneet. Good morning.
Morning, Vijay. Thank you for having me here.
It's our pleasure. So, Navneet, when the sport comes about marathon, right? So, not many people have complete information. For all you know, it could be famous because of Milid Soman or Puneet Rajkumar running for TCS. And everybody signs up for 10Ks and 40Ks. I'm not even sure how many different versions are there. Can you just talk to us and the audience on a brief of how the marathon sport is defined, if there is a definition to it, and also talk about your journey as well to us?
Definitely. Yeah, as you summed it up, there is a misconception. Usually when you see, with all due respect to all runners, whether you run 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers or whatever distance, 100 kilometers, they will have their own struggles and their own effort they would have put into it. But then usually they say, I've completed a 5-kilometer marathon. No, that's not true. So when you say marathon, a distance of 42.2 kilometers is called a marathon. Oh. So it basically originates from Greece, where a person ran from Athens to Marathon. And the marathon origin, the distance that was covered was 42.2 kilometers, 42.195. So run starts from 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, and then 21.1 is called a half marathon. And then 42.2, anything beyond that is a ultra marathon. So ultra marathon starts with 50 kilometers, goes up till 100, and then 100 miles, that is 160 kilometers. And then you have 24-hour run, 48-hour run. There are runs where people even have done 2,000 kilometers at a stretch.
Wow, okay.
I used to play cricket. I was always into fitness, but then when I joined corporate world, I was in night shift. Mm-hmm. And you know what happens when you're in night shift, your cycle changes and then your body metabolism changes, your physiology changes, and you become very lethargic. I used to be very lazy. Right now, you and I are able to sit and have an interview because our body is allowing us to do so. For instance, if we had some ailments, or say if we were sick, we wouldn't be thinking of anything apart from our sickness. We would only be thinking of, say you have a pain in your hand, you would focus on the pain. So I just wanted to get out of that rut. I always used to be lethargic, feel lousy. So I started running just 20 minutes a day, and I could not even run 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. Just walk for 5 minutes, jog for 5 minutes. And then slowly it started getting better. My performance in organization started better. With respect to my profession, I started to perform better. And the influencing factor was fitness. I used to be consistent. I did not have too many goals back then. Okay. Just kept it basic. It was a process. And then life overall started getting better. When you start something and you make it as a process and you include it as your daily routine, over a period of time, you will see a lot of result. And for numbers, I started writing down everyday activity. Today is 2,355th day of my fitness activity. Ever since I started documenting. Yeah. So I have each day documented.
Got it. Perfect. So that's...
Mm-hmm. Go on.
Yeah, no, please go on. So the reason I was trying to interrupt is like you are pretty much documenting every single day, which means every minute counts for you and you're trying to make that progress in your journey of this marathon. So from what I understood is marathon was actually a place in Greece, which gets its name from. So all the way back from marathon in Greece to Bangalore, when you started your journey, did you think that you will actually become an ultra marathon runner and not just settle for a 1 kilometer or a 5 kilometer run?
Initially, for any training, you need a team. You need a set of people who are supporting you, and then you need small benchmarks. So when I started off, I was only thinking of 5 kilometers and 10 kilometers, and that was very huge for us. To run a 5 kilometer, it was so difficult. I used to take 35 to 40 minutes. And then incrementally, we thought, why don't we do 10 kilometers? initially I had no idea, absolutely no idea. Even now, turning back and seeing if I have run 110 kilometers in Malnad or say 72 kilometers in Kardungla, it creates chills in my nerves. I mean, to my spine. I can't believe it. I mean, not exaggerating, but then when you look back, it's scary, the training that we have put in. But yeah, from 5 we graduated to 21. From 21 we did 42. Then thought, okay, we have done 42. Why don't we do 50 kilometers? So with each distance, one thing was consistent was the discipline towards it, and then the dedication, and then the process. We followed everything in a systematic manner, I would say. The training was laid down. We followed the training. The nutrition part of it was consistent, and then the recovery process was consistent. So yeah, initially, no, absolutely no clue that I would do such distance. But now, yeah, it happened with the process.
Perfect. Thanks, Navneet. Now, in your description, you also mentioned about the recovery process, right? Now, let's say I'm talking to you today, I'm excited, I'm inspired, and I start preparing, like you said, incrementally. I start running 1 kilometers and 2 and 5 and let it go on. But how does one know what is the process of recovery? How does your body recover from such a huge kind of impact that you're giving it? Can you please talk to us about the recovery process?
Prior to recovery, you should think, why do we need recovery? When you feel that, okay, you are hitting a point where you're injuring yourself, you have tight niggles, you have pain here and there. So how do you avoid it? I mean, what actually triggered it is some people want to accomplish too soon, too early. Right. Say, consider, let's take you for example, considering that you haven't been training at all, you're starting afresh. So you do some distance and then you incrementally increase. What do I say by it is increase not more than 10% by week. First 4 to 6 weeks, you keep it very simple. Considering you have a target distance in your mind, 5 kilometers, and then so we cannot talk, I mean, considering the time factor, we cannot talk about the training plans, but have a training plan, graduate incrementally, and do not increase it by more than 10% a week. And by doing so, talk to a coach. How do you land? I mean, some people land heel strikes, some people land mid strike. So you should take all that into consideration. See, some people run barefoot. You can ask me, what does shoes have? What kind of role does shoe play? Some people, I mean, they're capable. They can run barefoot, but you should also choose right kind of shoes for you to run. The terrain that you are running. Sometimes in the roads, you see hunched shoulders of the road. You should also make sure that you're running on an even surface. And when it comes to recovery, yes, you should incorporate. There is a simple mechanism called RICE, RICE, where you need adequate amount of rest and you need icing. Take a small pack of ice. Wherever you feel soreness, see, post any activity, you will have soreness. So you just keep ice the region for a minute or two. And then you can also elevate your foot in case the foot is the area that you are facing problem. And apart from that, you will have to stretch. Stretching is one of the crucial and most important thing where people lose out not doing them. You would have spent 3 hours on the road running. All that it takes is 15 minutes for you to stretch or 20 minutes stretch. They don't want to do it. No, I'm not stretching. No, you should stretch that. And you have something called foam rolling. Buy a foam roller, roll it, and then you have so many devices. Go to Decathlon, you find plenty of recovery tools that you will have to incorporate. And then by doing all this, you will avoid injuries. And first and foremost thing, yes, running is good, but complementary to it, the mother of all sport is strength training, they say. So you will have to strength train. You will have to look out for your weak points, have adequate amount of strength training to support your running or any activity for that matter.
Perfect, perfect. Right. So that was a detailed explanation on the whole recovery process which you just gave us. Now, let's say for a normal person, right? We start preparing and we're ready to run. Whom do we contact? Is there an organization which governs all of these marathon runs, or is it like a centralized body or something?
We are actually, there is something called, with respect to Bangalore, I can speak. Bangalore, there is a Bangalore runners group on Facebook, and there are plenty of running groups. We ourselves have a running group called Run Machines of Sutra, which is a non-commercial group. We have around 125 to 150 people. We cater to people's plan. I mean, from a basic runner to, we have runners who at 0 miles, who weighed around 95 to 100 kgs, who have done 0 to 80 kilometers in a year.
Oh.
And you have pacemakers. There are plenty of running groups in Bangalore and plenty of coaches. You just have to look out for someone online. There is plenty of support.
So what is your goal? I mean, right now you're doing ultra marathon. Eventually, do you have a roadmap, like a milestone that you want to reach or achieve?
Though I have run 12 hours and 18 hours is what I took in Malnad Ultra for 110 kilometers. The route was pretty challenging. I was thinking of 13 hours. So I have to do a 12-hour run in stadium. Due to COVID, it was cancelled. So aiming to do more than 100, 105 to 110 kilometers in 12 hours. And post that, I'll also have to do an Ironman, which is 42.2 kilometers running, 180 kilometers cycling, and 3.9 kilometer swimming.
So all the best for your venture. Now, all of these physical activities go hand in hand with what you call it as a diet. The food plays a very important role in your getting the potential out of you in your physical activities. Can you talk to us briefly about your diet?
Yes, of course I can talk to you about diet, but then they say, right, one size does not fit all. So if you are focusing on bodybuilding, you will have to be on high protein, cut short on your carbs, then you're going to hit the wall. When I mean, it's a running terminology that if you're deprived of carbohydrates, you cannot go on running a lot. So you will have to be rich in carbs and avoid all sorts of oily masala food, so fruits, boiled vegetables, and plenty of water. Mm-hmm. You will have to load a good amount of carbs, lots of vegetables, boiled vegetables, fresh vegetables, raw, and fruits. And banana plays a huge role. Banana and your citric as well. I used to be a non-vegetarian. With respect to me, if you ask, I used to eat 12 eggs a day. I used to have 5 to 6 meals, 2-hour interval. And then later I realized you don't eat so much because you're not doing so much. That though, we used to do, in a week, we used to have 110 to 120 kilometers. How you train for a 10 kilometers is completely different, and how you train for 21 kilometers is completely different. When I mean training, I am also referring to the nutrition aspect of it.
So, in the process of training, is there an app or any kind of a website that you refer to?
Generally, our group, we all use this Garmin watch. So you have a Garmin Connect. Okay. And apart from that, there are certain friendly apps like Strava, but you all have to carry your phone with you. Mm-hmm. Nike running app. Right. So this is good. I suggest, my personal opinion, Strava is really good.
Strava is really, that's what you recommend, right? Okay, perfect. Now, so there's this physical part and there's also this diet element, but there's one thing which drives both of them, which is your mental health or the mental strength, what we call it as. How do you manage to keep yourself calm and composed, and also at the same time trying to give you the best potential in spite of all of these external factors like stress and work-related and family and personal things going on? Is there a strategy which you follow to keep yourself calm?
Mind is the one culprit which gives up much earlier than your body. Your body is ready to go. If at all your body is not supporting you, you will go unconscious, you will fall. But then your mind plays a lot many tricks at you. For a simple example, say you have a 35 kilometer run tomorrow in the morning. So you will have to get up roughly around 3:30 considering Bangalore traffic. Yeah. So you will have to sleep early. There are so many things. See, it's not just during the run. It's preparation to the run itself is a huge task. So you will have to be mentally prepared 4 or 5 days leading to the run. And you will have to be hydrating well. And then you should get adequate amount of rest so that you perform well during the run. It should not be a activity of struggle. You should enjoy the activity. What is the point if you don't enjoy it, right? To remind yourself that you're strong, you can do it, and you've been waiting to do it. That eagerness, that passion towards it should be, bombarding inside you to keep you going. And then there are a lot many instances. You will have slight niggle, the IT band for me. For sometimes your IT band pains, sometimes your ankle pains, but you just have to live in that kilometer. What I say to myself is, maybe your heart rate goes up. Sometimes your heart rate is at 190, 200. So you will have to tell yourself, stay composed, stay in this kilometer, you can do it. And then after 2 or 3 kilometers, you don't have the same pain that you had in IT band. The pain is elsewhere. And the ankle pain that you had is no more there. And as you finish half the distance, say 35, so you finish 17.5, you start feeling good. Okay, I've done so much. And then once you do 20 kilometers, you just have 15 more to go. So you have plenty behind you. And sometimes you will have to take an example of your best event. Say, for me, I will look back at Kardungla and say, if I've done that, then I can do this.
Got it.
Be very passionate. And foremost thing is, you should ask yourself, why are you doing this? Wow. And this question applies to you or anyone for that matter, even before they start the activity. Why are you doing this? If you can answer this question, the mental part of it, yeah, your passion and the love towards the sport will take you there. But one thing, the mind lies. Don't give in to it.
Okay. So while you're doing this, is there something called as a runner's high? You know, the state which you are, like you said, you know, you got to enjoy this and not treat it like you're punishing your body. Is there something called as a runner's high? And, you know, can you talk to us about it?
Absolutely. See, probably maybe if you had interviewed me post-run, you could have felt it by yourself. It's a different being altogether. You have an euphoria hit to you. So you are in an elevated level of being. See, you capture life at different phases, but post-run, post an activity, you're at a different. And then apart from all that thing, you can take your hits in life in a very graceful manner. See, maybe I did not want to voice this out, but I am telling you, I lost my sister just 4 months ago, and I lost my dad 21 days ago. Maybe I could not be in a position to have an interview with you, but then it's because of this sport. It beats you to your knees. Honestly, I'm telling you, there were phases in Kardungla at 17,500 feet. It is snowing, and then I have altitude sickness. I'm on my knees, and the army personnel has come to me. They're saying, you just have to get onto the ambulance. You will have to go home. You will not survive.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all of these details and your entire journey. And, you know, we wish you all the best for all your future endeavors. And we truly want you to do that Ironman championship and definitely make a lot of name and fame for Bangalore and for yourself as well. Yep. Thank you so much, Navneet, once again for being in Physique Cafe. You can convey your message to our audience.
Thank you, Vijay, and thank you, Physique. It's really nice. I appreciate what you guys are doing. And then I would request all the audience to follow physique.fit. These guys are doing an excellent job.
Thank you so much, Navneet. Thank you so much for being in Physique Cafe, and wish you all the best.